Business owners submitted to me their 17 most frequently asked marketing questions. These are the most hot topic questions they had. I'm going to put them in the console right here, and I'm going to randomly answer all of them. Let's get to it. Our first question is question number 14. How can I improve my emails? Emails to me are the lowest hanging fruit marketing that any business owner needs to be putting out. There's so much potential. The real asset in a business is your customers. And if you don't have a list, their name, their phone number, their email, you really don't have a business. See, most businesses have customers come in, they may recognize them, they don't have their info though. So you have to have a list. The list is the asset of the business. Now, how do we improve emails? The easiest way to improve the email is focus on the 3 headlines of an email. Now, the headline of an article, of a video, like a hook, that's what grabs people's attention. The thing about an email which makes it so challenging or so rewarding is that there's 3 different headlines. There's the sender name, there's the subject line, and then there's the preview text. The problem with sender name is if you're sending the same emails over and over again, maybe like a generic newsletter, kind of like copy and paste it, a template, people get used to that and they ignore it. So you need to come up with creative sender names. If let's say you're a plastic surgeon and you're talking about a Botox promotion or a filler, you could say the sender's name, Botox. The next is the subject line. The subject line needs to be relevant. It needs to be something maybe 5 to 7 words that's going to grab their attention. And then the preview text, the way that I like to use my preview text is it's just a continuation. So it's like one long sentence. The subject line is the first half of the sentence. The preview text is the second half of the sentence. That's the most important thing. The most important thing with these emails is you just got to get them open. That's the majority of the battle. Once you get inside the emails, I put a whole video together on this, so check that out. But when you put together emails, they need to be like this. They need to be all text. No images, no videos, no gimmicks. You can have all that stuff on a secondary website, but the website needs to be, or the email needs to be very discreet, very clean. It needs to load quick. These email processors like Gmail, Yahoo, wherever, they know how much media is inside the email. If there's a ton of media and it takes a long time to load, they're going to look at it as spam. I went a little bit long on this first one because email is so important. The majority of businesses just don't do any email because they don't have their customers' email. But the businesses that do emails is it's super generic, it's templates, it's copy and pasted, it's ignorable. So that's my advice for email. Number 17, how do I write better hooks? The word hook, what it means is you're just hooking someone's attention. You're grabbing their attention. Through the context of hook, most people when they say hook, they mean a video. Like someone scrolling along in the news feed and you're going to hook their attention. You got to grab it. The 2 best hooks, and I'm not going to riff on this a lot. I actually wrote a whole book about this if you want to check it out. It's called Headline Handbook. Go to headlinehandbook.com. I've got a video where we go through 10 of the most effective hooks to grab attention, 5 formulas, 5 strategies. I use examples, all that stuff. So check that out. That video is free, and check out the book. But the 2 best hooks are you and question. Do you know this? Now that's both of them. The word you is the second most powerful word behind someone's name. Now, you're obviously not going to have someone's name unless you have it beforehand, which you probably won't. But use the word you and use the question. Do you know this? Are you going through a specific thing? So if you want to improve all your marketing, you got to get a hook because it's going to grab their attention, specifically through the context of video. And what I would recommend is that type of strategy. You-based language, a question, if-then. If you're experiencing this problem, then you need to know about this solution. Those would be the 3 I would recommend. You can get a lot of mileage out of those 3. Something with you, something as a question, and then an if-then. Number 13, what is the easiest marketing? The easiest marketing is marketing to people that, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it, know, like, and trust you. It's a cliche, but marketing to people that know, like, and trust you, because you're going to receive a lot less resistance. If you're going into a cold market, people that don't know you, people that are skeptical of you, you're going to have a lot more resistance. What you need to do is you need to be marketing to your existing clients. Now, most people don't do that to begin with. So start with that. I would say within side of that, just have a conversation with them. I talked about emails before. Use the email strategies that I talked about. Number 10, what social media site should I focus on? When I look at social media, there's really two approaches. I take that back. There's three approaches. There's ads, there's short form videos, and then there's long form videos. In terms of which site you should focus on, I don't think that there's one better than the other. I think it's where your customers hang out. I personally, myself, I like Facebook because Facebook's the largest social media site on the planet. If you just focus just on that, you're going to have a lot of opportunity, a lot of success. Facebook loves videos, so you can do short form videos there like Reels. They also own Instagram, so you're going to be cross posting on both of those, so you're going to get kind of like 2 times the amount of reach. Also loves long form videos. Then you can run them as ads. I did another video on Facebook ads and all that stuff, so check that out. So I would say the social media site you should be focusing on is where your customer's at. I think Facebook's the number one. Number 5, what is a client avatar and do I need one? I will say the way that I look at client avatars is through the lens of what makes elite marketing. Elite marketing is 2 very specific things. It's a very specific message to a very specific audience. So your avatar needs to be incredibly specific. Now, I was talking to someone earlier today about plastic surgery. Plastic surgery, people would say, well, that's specific enough. That's my avatar. I help people that, I'm a plastic surgeon, and I help people that need plastic surgery treatment. There are so many subcategories inside that. So you have to think, here's the overall economy, here's medicine, then there's plastic surgery. You can get many layers deep in that. You could be a plastic surgeon that just helps women who have beat breast cancer, had a mastectomy, and you're helping them with breast augmentation. You could help burn victims. You could help people that just aren't, comfortable with their appearance and want to change it. You could help seniors. If you're like an orthopedic surgeon, you could be helping younger kids that are like athletes that hurt themselves. You could be helping professional athletes. You could be helping seniors that need hip replacements. So you absolutely need a client avatar. And the reason you need a client avatar is because when you focus on one specific person or even a couple specific people, it makes everything so much easier. All your marketing is talking to them. You're more persuasive because they trust you more, and it's more enjoyable. If you're trying to talk to 20, 30 different types of people, you're never going to make an impact because you're going to be over here, you're going to be over there, you're going to be forgettable. So I would say if you don't have a client avatar, definitely get one, focus on one. The last thing I'll say about this one is a lot of people have challenges focusing on or picking a client avatar. Just think of who's the client that you enjoy helping the most. Maybe if that's not a big enough market, who are the 3 clients that you enjoy helping the most? Going back to that plastic surgeon example, you could be someone that likes helping older people. You could be helping people that beat cancer. Whatever it may be, focus on who you enjoy helping the most and make that your client avatar, because through your enjoyment and your skill and obviously the people you've helped in the past, you have more than enough to talk directly to that. Good?
Yeah.
Number 15, how do I get my clients to trust my marketing? I would say the easiest way for them not to trust your marketing is to sound like a salesperson and talk about how great you are and talk about how they need what you have. The goal of all your marketing is, to me, the goal of marketing is creating trust. That's the number one goal. Is I want to put out a piece of content, whether it's a video, whether it's a written piece, whatever it may be, that tells them, I see you, I understand you, I know what you're going through. I've helped people that were in your same position. Let me help you. And that's where I look at trust-based marketing. It's a funny question because it says, how do I get my clients to trust my marketing? That's the whole goal of marketing, is to create trust. So the easiest way that you can get your clients to trust your marketing is meet them where they're at. Talk directly to their pain. Talk to the nightmare that they're in right now. So many people just jump right into the positives. This is what you need to do. You have to get down to them one-on-one and say, your life's not good right now. You have all these challenges. Here's how I can help you. So you talk about their current state relatable, mirror what they're going through, and then you can talk about your solution. So you always meet the before, then you talk about the after, then you talk about the how. That's the most important thing. Meet them right where they're at right now. Number 7, how do I get my clients to care about my marketing? That's a funny question because the question itself is worded completely wrong. It's not how do I get my clients to care about me, it's how do I get my clients to care about themselves. And the thing about it is you can only get your clients to care about your marketing if you do what I just said. Talk to where they're at right now, the pain they're going through, meet them where they're at. You know, there's that quote, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. It's, you know, it's one of these cliche quotes, but the kind of the variation that I talk about is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you know, or I kind of butcher that. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care about what they've been through. So if you want your clients to care about your marketing, you need to care about them and tell them, listen, I know exactly what you're going through. I've helped people just like you. Does this sound like you? Meet them exactly where they're at. The easiest way you get people to care about your marketing is talking directly to their self-interest. Where they're at right now, the pain they're going through, how you can help them, and relentlessly focus on them. The most important thing in people's life is themselves. So talk about them. Don't talk about yourself. You can talk about yourself, but lead with relentless focus on them. Number 2, how do I create exceptional marketing? Exceptional marketing is talking one-on-one to someone. One of my favorite quotes is by Fairfax M. Cohn. He says, marketing that talks, and I always butcher the quote, but this is the general gist of it. Marketing that talks to millions rarely moves anyone, but marketing that talks to one specific person has the potential to move millions. All exceptional marketing is a one-on-one conversation with one specific person. This goes back to avatars. Whatever your avatar may be, think of the client that you most recently helped that overcame the most amount of obstacles, whoever they may be. Let's say health problems, beat cancer, burn victim, whatever it may be, you know, extreme obstacles. You're talking directly to someone that is in their same position. So exceptional marketing to me is that. It's a one-on-one conversation. The best writing advice I ever got for this was write like your mother was the person that you're trying to help. Like you sat down and wrote her a letter. A lot of you-based language, your passion would come through in it. You would have a genuine interest in helping and not selling. You talk about all the benefits, you talk about how you can help them, how you know what they're going through, how you've helped someone just like them. So that's what exceptional marketing is. Exceptional marketing is a one-on-one conversation with one specific person, but then delivered to a whole group of people that are in that same position. So for example, you could be someone that, you could be a bariatric surgeon and you're talking specifically to someone that is over 300 pounds, that has tried weight loss pills, that has tried diets, that's tried all these things and feels like they're never gonna lose the weight and their life is essentially over. They have failing health, they have all these issues. That's the person you're talking to, and you're talking about someone that you helped that was in their exact position. So that's exceptional marketing, is it's a one-on-one conversation with one specific person, and then you deliver it to an audience that's just like them. Number 11, how often should I post on social media? This is a funny question because I see a lot of, and it doesn't come from a bad place, so I don't want it to sound like I'm judging, but I see a lot of like social media coaches and people say, you got to hit X quota per day. You got to get 3 posts. You got to have one on Facebook, one on Instagram. You got to do a couple TikToks, all these things. TikTok loves as many videos as possible. The thing about this is the majority of business owners don't do any posting on social media. So it'll be like, I've never run a marathon before, but I want to run Badwater. They're going to go to the most extreme thing. The problem with this type of thinking is they're thinking in quotas. They're thinking like, oh, you have to hit this specific amount per day no matter what. I think you need to simply be documenting what you're doing. So if you had a really powerful conversation with a client or a patient, you sit down, you make a video about it, and make it raw. Say, I want to share with you a conversation that I just had with someone that I think will really resonate with you, and you talk about it. That could be one video in the whole week. That is going to be so much more compelling, and it's going to make so much more of a difference in terms of the results that you get than if you just posted all this generic stuff just because, like, I got to check that box, I got to check that box, I got to check that box. So that's what my advice would be is you obviously want both. You obviously want very high quality stuff at a very high cadence, but it's just not feasible for most people. You look at these people that are experts in making business content, they have a whole team of media people. They got videographers, they've got audio guys, they've got people that follow them around. That's not most business owners. Most business owners have their office, their clinic, their practice, whatever it may be, and they're in that. So that's what I would recommend. Don't look at quotas, look at quality first and foremost, even if it's one really good quality piece of content per week, and then build it up and just get in the habit of that. Just look at it like exercising. You're going to do a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more until you get to a certain threshold where you're doing really great content and you're doing it at enough cadence. So that's my advice on that. You good? Look at these big dudes. Number 8, what content should I make? This is an interesting question because I don't know exactly where it's coming from. I don't know if it's images versus videos versus sales letters or, categories of content. Let me give you a little bit of a background of some doctors that I'm working with right now. I have 9 categories of content, and make no mistake, these 9 aren't like 9 you have to do every week. Maybe it's 1 per week. The first is about them, the doctor. They're the most important person. It's not the patient, it's the doctor. Number 2 is the practice. Number 4, 5, 6, 7 is the pre-consultation, the first time they meet a patient. The next one is the actual procedure, the surgery. That's the middle part of it. The next one is their equipment, like give them a tour of the OR. If they're doing, let's say, like a breast augmentation or hip replacement, you show the actual equipment, say this is what it is. You're creating clarity. Next is post-consultation or post-surgery, That's the most important thing of all, is people are very fearful of what's going to happen after surgery. After that, I got a couple others. I got lists, like most frequently asked questions, most common myths, most common things you need to be aware of, most common warnings, and then lastly is financial information. How much does it cost, insurance, that type of stuff. So those are 9 kind of categories of content. In terms of what content should you make, I think you should be 100% focused on video like this. Just pull out your camera, your phone, whatever it may be, and just start having a conversation with your clients, a specific client. And then in terms of what to talk about, don't think of content, just document it. So let's say you're a doctor and you had a consultation with a patient and you recommended that they don't get a specific procedure done. That, as a side note, is very powerful content because that's a paradox. That's it's gonna disarm people because they're not thinking that you're selling them something. They're thinking that you're giving them information. But that's what it is. The content you should be making is simply a documentation of what you're doing. I look at content as a professional journal of what you do. So that's my advice for that. That's the type of content you should be making. Number 6, how can my marketing compete against large companies? This is an interesting question because I think this gets to the point of a lot of business owners, especially on social media, they get demoralized. They see $1 million per month ad budgets. They see all this stuff. What I want you to think of is I want you to think of these big businesses as incredibly inefficient because that's what they are. They're very inefficient. They waste a lot of money. They do something, they don't really track what they do. They just kind of throw stuff out there. They're building a brand. They're not looking at marketing as $1 in, $3 out. They're looking at it as it just got our name out there. It's really more than anything an ego exercise. When you are an individual or a small company, or let's say you're a handful of companies, let's say you have 3 or 4 clinics, whatever it may be, you have an advantage because people only buy from people. So when you get front and center and you talk, say like, I'm Dr. Sable, I want to give you this information, you're building an emotional connection with someone because you're talking to them one-on-one. These big faceless corporations, they can never do that. That's why you see boring companies like financial services, car insurance. I mean, car insurance has got to be probably the most boring industry in the world. That's why they have celebrity spokespeople. They have, you know, all these different characters they put in their commercials and their ads because they're trying to get what I just talked about. They're trying to build a one-on-one connection with someone. That's that human element. So I would say don't worry about competing with the big guys, whoever the big guys are. Feel grateful that you have the opportunity as one individual and another have a competition. Look at it as your secret weapon because that is the secret weapon. Also, as a side note, it's also how you get ahead of AI. Everyone's afraid of AI. AI is going to replace. Humans aren't going to buy from AI. They're going to buy from humans. So lean into human relationships. In my opinion, the best way to do that, aside from face-to-face, which just isn't feasible, is video like this. Have a conversation with someone, build that emotional connection, talk to them one-on-one, stuff like that. Number 16, how can I improve my ads performance? I would say the 3 ways that you can improve your ads performance is number 1 is the headline, the hook, how you grab someone's attention. That, if someone's not going to pay attention to your ad, the ad's dead on arrival, period. If you have a really lousy opener, if it's, boring, if it's vague, if it tries to be funny, if it tries to be cute, if it's not directly talking to the people that you're trying to talk to, it's dead on arrival. So the number 1 thing first is the hook, the headline. I wrote a whole book about this. Go to headlinehandbook.com. It's all about hooking attention. That's the number 1 most important thing by far. If you just master that one thing, you're immediately going to improve your performance. Number 2, I would say would be, there's a lot of things that you can do to improve your ad performance. I would say number 2 would be run multiple ads. So test them out, run different things. Run different, come up with 3 really good headlines. Run all 3. There's going to be one that performs better than the other. Focus specifically on that one. And then number 3, I would say, I want to give you 3. So the headline, experiment with different things, and have a one-on-one conversation. Don't write it like from the business owner talking about himself. Do it from, here's what you need to know. Like you would text someone, like if you were talking with your client face-to-face, how you would talk to them. Here's what you need to consider. If you're in this position, then you need to know this. That would be my 3 pieces of advice. Better hook, have to grab someone's attention. Nothing else you do matters. Test, and then make it in a conversational tone. Not too many more. Number 4, what is the number 1 mistake businesses make in their marketing? This is easy. They talk about themselves. How great they are, all their awards. I'm the number 1 at this. I'm the number 1 at that. Clients don't care. All businesses are someone who can help someone else with their challenge. Now, there's different levels to it. Some aren't as extreme as others. We got a gas station right here. If you run out of gas, we can help you get gas and get to your job or pick up your kids. Now, that's obviously, they're helping, but it's not extreme. If you're a doctor that's helping someone overcome some health challenges, that's obviously more severe. So the number 1 mistake businesses make in their marketing is they use it as an ego trip. Now, the thing about it is, I don't believe businesses do it intentionally. I don't think they sit down and create their marketing and say, I want to talk about how great I am, and I want to tell everyone that I'm the best. I don't think that's their frame of mind. I think their frame of mind is, I need to talk about all this stuff to position myself as someone that can be trusted. I need to talk about my authority. And their mind's in the right space. The majority of business owners want to talk about all their success, all their reviews, all these things, because they say this is proof that I can help you, and they're genuinely coming from the right place. That's not how you communicate with humans, though. So all marketing is a one-on-one conversation. You need to talk to the client to the patient. 100% about them. One-on-one. Unrelenting focus on them. Once you've established and you've grabbed their attention by talking directly to their selfish desires, talking to the pain they're going through, the pleasure that they want to experience, the nightmare they're stuck in and they've been stuck in for the last 5 years, and how you can get them to the dream outcome that they want. Once you've talked to that, then you can establish things. You talk directly to their challenges and you can say, and here's some clients that I've helped. And then you could talk about the 20 reviews that you've got. Here's the 25 stars reviews that I got, and you should care about these reviews because these people were in the same position that you were in. Check out their stories. So that's the number one mistake. Don't focus on yourself. I know your heart's in the right place, but you have to have 100% unrelenting focus on the client. And only once have you established that connection with them and spoken to their selfish desires can you talk about yourself. Number 3, how can I make more money from my marketing? Oh, that's like there's 100 different ways that you could make more money from your marketing. I would say, I don't want to give you 100 different answers. I'm going to say the easiest way you can make more money from your marketing is audit everything that you do in your marketing. Most businesses just throw money out. They don't track anything. Track everything. Track everything like your business's life depended on it. Every dollar that goes out should be bringing you back $3-4 in return. Problem is most businesses don't track it, so they don't know what works. They'll say, oh, I got 8 different streams of marketing. I made $1 million last year. That's great. But when they really look into detail of their marketing, they'll realize there's only one thing that represented 90% of my income. So I would say the easiest way, and I only want to give you one, I don't want to give you 100 examples. The easiest way you can make more money from your marketing is track every dollar that you put out, know what works, know what doesn't work, and then go all in on what works and run that over and over and over and over again until you've burned it to the ground, and then test 5 other things and see what's the best and do that. So want to make more money from your marketing, go all in on what's already working for you. And to go all in on what's working for you, you have to know what's working for you. So track it all. Number 1, what marketing should I do for my business? I don't think that that's the right question. I think the right question is, what clients do you want? Who's your client avatar? Who do you want to do business with? That's the most important thing. Is the marketing you do needs to be talking to the clients that you want to work with. And the clients that you work with, where do they hang out? So for example, let's say the clients that you help are people over the age of 65 years old that have osteoarthritis and need to have their knees replaced. You're not going to be necessarily running ads on TikTok, in my opinion. You're going to be going where do these people hang out? I was talking with a doctor a couple weeks ago that does a lot of educational seminars into senior communities because he does a lot of hip replacement. That's like he's an orthopedic surgeon. That's like his main thing. And I told him, I said, the marketing you're doing is excellent because you're going directly to where your client avatar is. He deals with seniors. He goes where they're at. The thing about it, though, is the businesses that are, and how do I word this? I would just say that the marketing that you need to be doing for your business is you need to really have a really dialed in avatar of who you want to work with. It could be people that you work with already. Again, it goes back to reviewing all of your ad performance. Maybe you have 80% of your patients fit a specific profile or an avatar, and you find out that 75% of them came through an ad that you ran in a seniors magazine. So the marketing you need to do is where your clients are hanging out. Simply put, know who your clients are, talk directly to that client avatar, and find out where they hang out, and then advertise where it is. If you get a lot of business from farmers markets, go run ads at farmers markets, stuff like that. So that's my advice. Go where your ideal clients hang out. Number 12, what advertising is best? This is a follow-up of the last one. The best advertising is the one that makes you money and is delivered to where your clients hang out. And you know that. Study your clients. Now, you may not have a client avatar. Who's the client that you enjoy working with the most? Find out where they hang out. Then after that, study it. How do you market to them? Maybe it's a seniors magazine. Maybe it's a newspaper ad. Aside from that, and that's kind of a generalized answer, that's something that, if I can go through that with you and we can work on that, but that's the most logical, simplest explanation. Second of all, it's Facebook. Everyone hangs out on Facebook. Facebook, to me, is the best for a number of reasons. It's incredibly cost efficient. There's tons of targeting. There's tons of great features. I made a video specifically about Facebook, so check that out. And yeah, that's what it is. Advertising is where your clients hang out, and then Facebook. And the last one, very last one. In fact, let me double check. Yes, it is the last one. Number 9. How long should my marketing be? This is a funny one because people say, well, it has to be short. Everything now has to be viral, has to be, a 30-second clip. The thing about it is people care about themselves, and nothing's more important than them and their selfish desires. I hear so many people say your content has to be 20 seconds long, 30 seconds long, because people have a short attention span. People have a very short attention span, basically non-existent, to things that don't interest them, that don't talk to their self-interest. If you're going to put a piece of marketing, let's say this message, in front of a specific, very specific marketing piece, in front of a very, very specific audience, they're going to pay attention to it. It could be a 5-minute video. It could be a 10-minute video. I saw some video the other day. I forget what the topic was. It was very, very abstract. Had 1 million views because it was very, very specific to a very specific audience. So I disagree. Now, it is a bit of a funnel. If you're going to be posting stuff on Instagram, Instagram wants a specific format. They want 30 to 45 seconds. That's kind of the sweet spot. So you can use that as like top end, like here's the trailer or here's the teaser, the little piece of information to pull them in. Click the link in my bio, go to this website, that type of thing. That's how you can get it started. So it can start off short, but if it's something that really interests them, then you can go to something longer and something longer and something longer. There are sales letters that are 8, 9, 10 pages long that perform because they talk to a specific audience and their selfish desires. There's videos that are 45 minutes long. I was listening to someone the other day, or I was talking to someone the other day, and they had a 80-minute video sales letter, a VSL, that talked directly to a very ultra-specific market, and they said it converted off the charts. So shouldn't be how long the marketing is. It should be the specific message that talks directly to someone's self-interest. If it talks to that, there's no limit on their attention span. And that's our last question. Hope you got a lot of value from this. If you have any other questions, call, text me. My contact information is in the description. You can follow me on Instagram. My website's going to be in there. All my info's in the bio. I'm not going to go through it, but hope you got a lot of value from it. Hope this helps you immediately. Like I said, with all my content, I want to immediately give you something that can improve your next marketing piece. So keep me updated on how that goes. We'll put this one back there. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.